Have you ever wanted to watch a crafting content creator travel across the US while making absolutely no crafts? Look no further, I'm here for you. The past few days, I've been in Boston, Massachusetts visiting a friend. In case you're wondering, Boston people also love Halloween, which is good because I would have been unbelievably disappointed if they didn't. I've also been mentioning that I've been feeling super tired and burned out and really want to get the opportunity to get out of Utah. And ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk, I got that opportunity. I have 2 days of footage to show you guys, and it all starts in Salem. We started by going to the cutest little coffee shop called Crave. They had amazing chai, and I got a super good bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. If you ever go to Salem, you should absolutely check out Crave. We then went to the Salem Museum of Torture, and let me just say that this museum was unbelievably respectful of the fact that real people went through these experiences. Their goal is to show just how dark humanity can go, and I feel like most of the displays were very tactful in giving the information and allowing us to be horrified by the information and not the grotesque displays. I think this museum is a super important part of Salem because at this point, the town is basically a commercialized Halloween town, and we need to remember why. After the museum, we explored the town. We saw many beautiful buildings and cute witchcraft and Halloween-themed shops. We went on a Sunday, and apparently Salem gets about 60,000 people a day on weekends in October, so it was very packed. But we were able to still move around. We saw Witch Hunter's house and the first ever Quaker house, and then we looked up a free online walking tour of Salem so we could see the sights. I will link the tour down in the description. The tour had us start at Salem Public Library and led us down Essex Street, I believe the name was, which was such a cute street. We then saw the witch's house in Hocus Pocus, which was so cool. We saw a couple more locations from the film, but because it had started to rain a lot, I didn't film it. But we did see the town hall where I Put a Spell on You was filmed, which was so cool. We didn't end up finishing the tour because we had an appointment at the cemetery, which you have to make an appointment in order to visit it. It's free, but you have to make an appointment. So we weren't able to finish the tour, but what we got to see of it was really good, and I highly recommend that you guys go check that out if you get a chance. We visited the main cemetery in Salem and got to see graves from the 1600s, which was a really cool experience. One thing that I noticed, however, is that every man's grave was just his name and when he died, versus every woman's grave had her name, her husband or father's name, and what service she provided them, whether it was wife or mother or daughter. And I know that women had to fight to be viewed as people for thousands of years, but it was a very obvious divide in their society that was difficult to ignore when you're looking at their graves.
So I'm at one of the Salem cemeteries right now, and what's fascinating is that a lot of these graves, are from 1600s, 1700s, and so many of them are still preserved. And I imagine some of the tombs have been remade, but it's super cool to see. And can I just say, there are some witch hunters buried here, and they would absolutely hate the fact that we come to Salem, Massachusetts for the thing that they hate the most, the witches. Something fun to think about.
The next day we went to Harvard. Cambridge is a very different part of town than where my friend lives, so it was super cool to get to see all the shops and how they all catered to Harvard being the biggest tourist attraction.
Gilmore Girls Harvard was actually filmed at UCLA. I looked it up last night, which is beyond disappointing. But I guess Harvard just like super didn't want them to film here at all, and I mean, I know that's why she had to go to Yale, but I figured like maybe the one episode. No, none of it was filmed here. But it's so pretty here. It's all of the buildings are red, and I know that they're like colors red, but I didn't realize that like their colors red. So 10 out of 10 recommend Harvard. It's super pretty. And I'm still gonna go live my best Gilmore Girls life, despite the fact that they were never here. Harvard dumpsters smell bad. 0 out of 10.
On campus, we started to wander around and came across a public archive museum, which was super cool. I got to see one of my idols, Wilhelmina Fleming, memorialized after doing so much for astrology while they gave her absolutely nothing back. We then saw the beginning of a protest. On the scrolls, they'd written down the names of Palestinian victims, and it was incredibly hard and impactful to read each name. We then went to the Museum of Natural History. We started by looking at different minerals and rocks, and I got to see absolutely massive geodes and gypsum, which was super cool. Went to go see their collection of glass flowers. Guys, these flowers are all made of glass, and they were created to give Harvard classes a model to look at that's not the actual plant. Not only are these flowers an incredible feat of artistry, but they are also as accurate in color, size, and detail as humanly possible, so that researchers could learn from the models. They are a huge accomplishment, and I am still in absolute awe that something this beautiful exists. We also got to see glass sea creatures that were also used as models, which was so beautiful. We then got to see some old fossils, maps, and bones. If you guys ever get the chance to go visit Harvard, go see the Natural Museum of History. It's so fun. And this was my trip to Massachusetts. The state is absolutely beautiful, and if you guys ever get the chance to visit in the fall, I want to hear all about it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.